Smoke drifted up from the old charcoal grill in my sister Mara's yard, mixing with the sweetness of sauce and the heavy warmth of late summer. Everyone laughed a little too loudly, as though noise alone could bury years of quiet resentment. I sat at the edge of the picnic table beside my son, Noah, and made sure my posture stayed relaxed. Noah was 15. He ate slowly, carefully, eyes fixed on his plate, letting the overlapping conversations pass right through him. Crowds drained him. Logic and systems never did. Mara leaned forward, her bangles chiming as she smiled. "So, Noah," she said, projecting her voice just enough to capture the table's attention. "How's school going? Still in those special programs?" Noah nodded without lifting his gaze.
"Yeah."
"They're okay. I like computer science." "Computer science?" Mara's smile sharpened. "How sweet. A little pastime to keep you occupied." Her husband, Daniel, gave a low laugh. Their children, immaculately dressed, restless, and expensive-looking, didn't look up from their phones. "He placed first in the regional competition," I said evenly. 200 students. Mara's expression didn't change. "That's precious. Those kinds of confidence prizes are important for kids like him." "It wasn't a participation award," I replied. She waved her hand as if brushing away smoke. "Of course, but let's be honest. He'll always need help, support, family to manage things." The chatter around us faded. My mother stared down at her plate, suddenly absorbed in her food. A fork scraped against ceramic. Noah's fingers tightened around his bread, his jaw locking, the small warning sign I knew too well. "I'm just saying what others won't," Mara continued, encouraged by the silence. "Not everyone is meant to stand out." I set my fork down carefully. "You may be right," I said quietly. "Excuse me, I need to take a call." Inside the house, I deliberately left my phone on the table. Through the kitchen window, I watched Mara continue speaking while Noah slipped away to the porch steps, his shoulders curling inward as if he were trying to disappear. I pulled my laptop from my bag, opened my email, and began to write. The next morning at 8:30, my phone rang. Mara's name lit up the screen. I let it ring twice. "What did you do?" she demanded the moment I answered.
"Good morning," I said.
"What's wrong?" "The academy called," she said breathlessly. "They said the scholarship funding for all 3 kids has been terminated, effective immediately."
"Do you know anything about that?"
I kept my voice level. "Why would I?" "Because the donor was anonymous," she snapped. 70% of tuition. Her certainty faltered. "That was you, wasn't it?" "I have no idea what you're talking about," I said. "But private school isn't cheap. $45,000 a year per child, last I checked." I'd paid because I could, because she'd asked, because I'd mistaken entitlement for necessity, and because I'd stayed silent. "You can't do this," she whispered. "We can't afford it without you." "That's unfortunate," I said, taking a sip of coffee. "Have you thought about public school? I hear they offer excellent support services." There was a pause. Then, quietly, "This is about yesterday. About what I said to Noah." "I don't recall anything significant," I said, lying calmly. "You were being honest." "I'm simply being realistic about my finances." Her breathing grew shallow. "You're ruining us." "I also stopped the monthly transfers," I added. "The 5,000. The 5,000? Her voice wavered. "We thought that was Grandma's trust." "It wasn't," I said. "And I've canceled the club membership too." "You're punishing my children," she said, her voice rising. "No," I replied. "I'm done punishing mine." A sharp knock rattled my front door. Through the glass, I saw my mother's car in the driveway. "I have to go," I told Mara. "Good luck." My mother stepped inside without waiting for an invitation, keys clenched in her hand. "Mara says you cut off the money," she said. "Tell me that isn't true." "It is," I said. "Sit down." "She's terrified." "She wasn't terrified when she embarrassed Noah in front of everyone," I said. "She told him he'd never be independent." My mother rubbed her temple. "She thinks she's being practical." I turned my laptop toward her. "This is practical," I said, pointing to the numbers. tuition, transfers, club fees. I've been paying for their image of perfection. And she used my son as a joke. I'm his mother, I said softly. My mother scanned the screen, then sighed. The kids will have to attend Jefferson. And they'll be fine, I said. Public school isn't a punishment. She left without another word. Near midday, Noah wandered in and held out his phone. A message glowed on the screen. Asterisk, sorry if I hurt your feelings. You're very special. Ask your mom to call me. Asterisk. He stared at the word special as if it were something dangerous. She wants you to fix things for her, I said. You won't, he said quietly. I pulled him into a hug until his shoulders loosened. Different doesn't mean less, I whispered. 2 weeks later, Mara stood on my porch without her practice smile. We're enrolling the kids at Jefferson, she said. I was jealous. You managed everything on your own. I needed help, and I hated you for it. I didn't console her. Apologize to Noah, I said. She knocked on his open door. I heard you won, she said softly. Can you show me how? Noah hesitated, then began explaining. Problem, pattern, solution, his hands tracing invisible shapes in the air as if arranging code. Mara listened, truly listened, and for the first time didn't reduce him to a label. That evening, I redirected the tuition money to scholarships for 3 families I'd been quietly supporting all along. It wasn't revenge. It was a boundary I could finally live with.